Hey guys, Tbull here. Today we got a game in the Weimar for you. This is a tier 6 premium German cruiser, light cruiser, Wegerwald. Heavily focused on the AP there. Slot 2, slot 3, AP. If you don't have them, I've traditionally used Von Mueller. For the German cruisers. German AP is kind of where the strength is at. HE, pretty decent. You get enhanced penetration, meaning you can damage more heavily armored structures than most HE, but the downside is low damage. So, because the AP tends to be the highest damage, basically at the tier usually, then we're going to go ahead and enhance that. Okay, so Weimar not currently available. There is a Mines tier 6, which is similar to this, just has some less guns, but overall similar performance. And then we saw the Mines was the campaign ship, the München tier 6, I should say. But regardless, whether you have these things or whether you're playing against them, you need to know what they're capable of, and you need to go ahead and shoot at them whenever possible. Because we're going to see what happens here in a game where, if we're left to our own devices for the whole game, well, then there's serious, serious problems for the opponent. So go ahead and blow these things up whenever you can. Otherwise, you're probably going to have some serious issues the longer they're alive. All right, so analyzing the composition here. What do we got? 4 destroyers per side, 3 cruisers, carrier, and 1 battleship. Okay, now we've been talking about this a little bit lately. In these games where there's only 1 ship or like a ship class is rare in a particular match, that value goes up. Okay, and since the King George can wreak havoc not only on the cruisers, but also can basically one-shot destroyers as well, it's a very strong threat against basically the majority of our team. So even though we got destroyer popping up on sea there, Fubuki, I'd be inclined to shoot him normally, but I'm thinking to myself, if we can get this King George down, either off the board, hopefully, or at least grievously wounded so he's forced to kind of retreat and be less effective, that could be an advantage for our team. So we got 2 blue destroyers on sea. They're kind of driving the red destroyer out of there, hopefully. But a lot of guys should be hopefully piling in on this King George. And if we can get him down early, again, due to the fact that he's the sole ship of the class, battleship in this particular case, is quite a valuable piece. More so, usually battleships are kind of not very valuable in the grand scheme of things compared to the other classes. Likewise, if we had 1 destroyer per team, very, very important. 1 cruiser per team. Just the rarity of the power, the ability to project the power that that ship in that class has, the rarer it is, the more it needs to be protected and destroyed if it's on the enemy team. So that's what we're trying to do with the King George here. And we got a couple flyers going here, 1 or 2 flyers, and you could easily switch over to the AP in this situation. I'm kind of surprised I'm not doing that. But I'm just thinking, okay, we got to just pile on this thing. We want to get rid of him very quickly. Luckily, the torpedo strikes from the team takes him down. Are getting spotted. Now, I'm assuming it's destroyers through the kind of the gaps in sea that we can see over there. Not paying as close attention to the west, which is probably actually where we are getting spotted from looking on the map here. And that's a problem. York coming around, and we do see shots from the left of the screen. York immediately firing on our position as well. That was a little surprising since he's pushing into the caps. Where there's other ships that were more directly in the path of where he was going, so more likely to occupy his attention. At least that was my belief. But now we're backing up. We do drop spot once we cut that line of sight from the west, and the York continues to push into the base here. Now, we don't know where those 2 destroyers are up north, but we're not getting spotted yet. So we can kind of assume that they're at least out of our max firing range to the north, northeast, and that gives us a little bit of room to maneuver here with this York. Because again, York, very dangerous with all these destroyers in our team, very powerful sonar, kind of equipped, and you can see, even though he's shooting the cruiser in that instance, he's closing in on those destroyers. If he gets the sonar going, he can whack them pretty quickly. So, want to get rid of him. We throw some torps down. Those are low percentage shots, but it just kind of adds to our chances of being able to take him out. We did slam on the brakes, though, letting him move in here, and he's coming around broadside, so we had the AP ready to go. Someone gave him a whack with the torp, which helps him, and then we finish him off there. But I think even if he didn't get that torp strike, we probably would have gotten him in 1 or 2 pulls of the trigger there. So we kind of waited for him, kept an eye on the map, so I was going to continue to push in and continue to push in broadside, set up the ambush, okay, because he kind of lost spot of us for, 30, 45 seconds, whatever it was. So now we're having good success over here on sea. In fact, we got 2 cruisers. few destroyers, a battleship. You know, the carrier's been playing over here a lot, so we got room to maneuver on sea. I'm kind of trying to admonish the destroyers to get into the sea cap as quickly as possible. Time is of the essence. You can see Red's had A for a while here. Fiji moving in to try and capture B, establish that flanking cap / center cap advantage that you need to win capture domination mode game. So he's coming in. He didn't necessarily think we were going to be pointing at him due to the fact that he just popped up on our screen. Once he recognized the AP coming in, he steeply angles. Now the Fiji, very steep penetration. All right, the one thing that these Germans, the German cruisers, don't have that some of the other classes do is these enhanced penetration angles. That means if he's pointing directly at us, we're not going to be able to damage him in the sides with AP, but he can definitely damage us even when we're steeply angled. So we don't want to get into a fight where we're trying to trade AP with that guy. As soon as he angles in, we switch to the HE. And British light cruisers, American heavy cruisers, Russian heavy cruisers, you got to assume that they're basically going to be impossible to fight through their angling. All right, or you can't really angle against their shot, I should say. So just treat it as though you can't angle against them when you're in cruisers, and even battleships for that matter. Just mentally, that's kind of how you have to be thinking. Yeah, there's a destroyer coming up from the left, but once again, Fiji heightened importance here. Very dangerous ship, and he can one-shot, two-shot these destroyers, so we're trying to get him out. As soon as he flashed the broadside, switched over to the AP, immediately swings back in there. Good play by him. But we are trying to finish him off, get him on fire there, and now we're pulling forward. We want to make sure he can't hit us. We are continuing to see the damage tick up there in the right-hand corner, top right-hand corner, so we do know he continues to be on fire. Now we've kind of piled in on this Akatsuki, and keep an eye on the map there. Southwest of us, we got another destroyer trying to close in on us. A lot of action over here, a lot of stuff, a lot of moving parts. Go ahead and pop the sonar there to see what's going on. Fiji continues to burn, and he's about to go down here. Any second. No. Did he put the fire out? Yep. So it looks like we are going to be forced to engage him once again. Now, he's using his sonar on us. We're using his sonar on him. So we both know what's coming. I'm trying to steepen up. You can see that diagram, about a 45-degree angle on the bottom. But once again, not going to really be able to protect ourselves. So trying to get these shots off. He's trying to get a little bit more damage, maybe even kill us before we can do them. Basically, I'm just trying to fire from those back guns. Now, it's not going to look like we have a clear shot on the screen, just due to the fact that it's coming in from the right-hand side of the screen. He does tag us a little bit there, but we do get him with the back guns. Now the Maz is in trouble. We got him kind of perma-spotted with the sonar, and Akatsuki coming around here. Now, it's a little bit of a wrinkle. Once again, he's thinking our attention's occupied, so we get those back guns. Slamming on the gas, because you know he's sitting there with his torpedoes, aiming at the indicator, launch, launch, launch. Sonar will confirm that. We go ahead and slam on the gas. Immediately, we've already dodged the torps. Now he's throwing his ship away for nothing. And that's exactly what we want to do. Pulling forward, once again, minimizes the ability of the Maz to strike us. And this Akatsuki, he could maybe kill us, maybe not, but unable to do so there. So, once again, destroyers rushing cruisers, trying to torp them point-blank range. Low percentage play. Especially against these cruisers with sonar and fast cycling guns, you're in for some serious trouble. They know what they're doing. Fubuki slamming on the brakes, trying to get that smoke screen set. Did get him with some damage there. We are up to 3 kills now, and taking control of the game. We need to get B passively generated. We need 2 of the 3 caps, but once that's done, then all we got to do is make sure we don't get wiped out. But we got a Maz close range here. It looks like he's kind of drifting forward because he's getting plane spotted. He's trying to figure out, okay, I'm taking some shots. What can I do? I'm in some serious trouble here. We do get the torps, hoping that he's going to slam or keep slamming on the gas. He does hit us with the sonar here, but he bleeds through his smoke. I think if he stayed in that smoke, he might have been able to kill us because we don't have our sonar on. Now, if he remembers from before, he might realize that we used it already. But regardless, he came out of the smoke and we killed him. I actually got him with the secondary there, up to the 4th kill. And B, more importantly, being captured. Now we got to carry, they got to carry, we got to destroy, they got to destroy, and we got a couple cruisers still running around. Now we don't have a lot of health here. Carrier could easily kill us in one shot, or the destroyer, if he gets us pointing the side at him, or he hits us with a torp, something like that, definitely could kill us very quickly. But we're trying to make sure, even if we go down here, we're going to continue to the team will win whether or not we survive this or not. So I'm trying to get over there to A, We might get some shots in the carrier. Looks like our flyboy's heading right towards them, so we're probably going to get some spotting there. But if we can get A, or at least get on A, that's going to stop them from getting any background points as long as we're on there. And that's just going to help the score grow. Because, you know, we're up by, you know, just shy of 100 points at the moment. So if we die, that's not going to swing it. But let's say they get a couple kills here. Things can get dicey late in the game. So we just want to continue to push forward. But this is, you know, it's not over yet. But this is hopefully a good demonstration of the havoc that these type of light cruisers can cause on your team. You know, they'll pump out a lot of damage, and you know, they can absolutely shred those destroyers, which especially in domination mode like we're playing here, extremely valuable, even in a high count destroyer game like this. So it's just these cruisers can turn the tide very quickly. So if you got shots at them, you know, the King George, for instance, had shots at us. He never actually fired the gun in our direction, though. He was probably shooting the battleship that was lined up across from him. And we just piled on with our team, took them out, and then we've been wrecking everyone since then. We got the high cal, we got the Confederate carrier in trouble. We were hitting them with the AP, now we switched over to the HE. A lot of you guys know this, but not everyone. If you get caught on fire, your spotting, your concealment goes down, basically. You're easier to see, so I think it's a 10% boost if I remember off the top of my head. Whatever it is. If you can happen to catch someone who's like on the edge of their detection, you get them on fire, that'll usually bring them back up into spotting range. So that's part of the reason we switched over the HE there. And look at this, we're still peppering the Citadel with these HE shells. So the Ranger's in trouble here. He's trying to bomb us to keep himself alive and keep his team, you know, with a glimmer of hope here, but not able to do it. We do get the Kraken, immediately turn in towards the planes, who are coming with a torpedo bomber, so we want to point directly at them. If it was a regular HE bomber or AP bomber, we'd flash our sides to them. That'd help us dodge. But here we're on the cap. Once again, we wanted to get over here to either capture the base, hopefully, which will boost our score, boost our team's odds of winning the game, and give us more glory. But you know, even if he sinks us here, well, at least we're preventing them from getting these points as long as we're on here. Do slam on the brakes, shot down one of the planes, so when they have two torps coming our way. Hits us with one, we're down to 347 damage, and we're getting spotted by the plane. And I'm thinking, wow, where is this destroyer here? All the blue ships are over here. Now this is where the turning point of the game is. He hasn't been spotted since the last time we shot him, and that was several minutes ago, if you remember, when he was peeking through that gap on B. So I'm wondering, okay, did he put the controller down? Did he quit the game out of frustration? What's going on with this guy? But regardless, he's not in position to reset us here or even sink us. Of course, if he shot us with the gun once, we'd be dead. But looks like we will get that cap, and that's going to mean more points, more XP, more credits, all the good stuff. So great job there. Pretty well played game by the team overall. But look at this. Spotted. Okay, so he does have the controller in his hand. We fire a blind fire shot over here thinking, where could he be? Probably just came around this island here. But it's going to wind up, he was way up north doing God knows what. Maybe running from the carrier, who knows. But anyway, once he pops up on the map here in a second, we'll see that he's actually attacking basically from straight up north. Quickly, there he is, northwest. Swing the guns over there. Looks like the destroyer close range, trying to get him off the board. Of course, we're going to chime in with our own guns. Let's see if we got 5 kills. Let's try and get 6, right? Sounds pretty good to me. Boom, down he goes. That's a look at the Weimar for you guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. We got lots of World of Warships coming all the time. Questions, comments, leave below. I do love to hear from you guys, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.